Manchester United suffer defeat on the opening fixture against Arsenal. But this game cannot just be talked about courtesy of the way Arsenal won the game because they won a game through a corner. But this game actually shows a lot of positivity for Manchester United. And I just want to share some stats here with you. Now, when you look at this, what you notice is that you can see the average position of Manchester United players. And what you notice clearly is the way Manchester United players were looking to exploit the wide areas in particular. You can see even the positions of their centre backs and how they look to play in midfield. While when you look at Arsenal's position, it's quite balanced. You can see there's a lot of concentration of players through the middle, signifying how Arteta in particular wanted much more control in midfield. Now, in our video today, we are going to do an in-depth tactical analysis of the game between Manchester United and Arsenal, focusing on the strengths of Mikel Arteta and Ruben Amorim in this game. And we are going to see how Amorim actually managed to change Manchester United throughout the game. Before we start, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. And we proceed. Now, looking at the way Manchester United play, you notice one thing in particular. Manchester United were heavily relying on overloads created down the wide areas, especially by their overlapping wing backs and their inside forwards. How? Now, Manchester United was so unique in the way they looked to build up from the back, and that actually signified how they would actually look to play. Now, Manchester United identified that Arsenal would press them aggressively from the onset, and this is what actually gave Manchester United momentum to dominate Arsenal in that game. One way they would do this is by either dropping Luke Shaw and Euro deep enough and spreading so wide alongside the goalkeeper and having their two wing backs starting high and wide. The centre backs could either be Delete and Euro with Luke Shaw coming in field, but majority of the times these were the two players. You see, the reason why they did this is that they wanted to stretch Arsenal, and Arsenal responded by having their wingers be the ones to press the wide centre back, while their midfielders looking to cover Fernandes and Casemiro in midfield, while Gyökeres to sit on Delete, who had actually moved into that midfield. Now, this always left Manchester United with space to play the ball to the wide areas, in particular to the wing backs. And once the wing backs, especially Bogu, received the ball down the left, he would immediately look to advance. Now look at this clip. Look at how Manchester United are spreading their centre backs, and look at how their midfielders are actually dropping towards the ball, pulling Arsenal's midfielders of Rice and Odegaard. The ball is played to Euro, and look at what Euro does automatically. He looks to play the ball to Euro receives the ball and is looking to play the ball directly towards the channels. Here again, Manchester United are looking to build from the back. Now Gyökeres has decided to apply pressure on the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper plays the ball into midfield to Casemiro. Casemiro finds the ball, plays a first-time pass to Euro. Euro receives the ball and immediately is looking to hit the ball through the channel. And why is this so? It's because of the position of the wing back that is actually creating overloads in those wide areas. The same pattern is repeated in the second half. Arsenal decide to engage in an aggressive high press. Manchester United's goalkeeper did an excellent job during build-up by looking to find players in between the lines. This time, the ball is played towards Fernandes, and now you can see what is happening. Cunha is looking to make that run. Mbeumo is already looking to make that run. Bogu has already looked to make that run. Here again, Arsenal again are moving to press, and now Manchester United's goalkeeper is able to play a simple ball over the top to Diego Dallo. And because of this, what we noticed is that Arsenal kept getting dragged out of position because of Manchester United's overload. And Manchester United made the pitch so wide that it became so difficult for Arsenal to defend. And once Manchester United pivots got onto the ball, their first instinct was always to shift the ball out wide, trying to spread Arsenal's backline. And the pattern kept on happening time and time again, as Ruben Amorim's wingbacks always caused all sorts of issues to Arsenal's fullbacks. And even when forwards will drop deep, such as Cunha and Mbeumo, what you'll realize is that they will be dragging centre backs out of position, leaving a lot of space in behind. Now, Mikel Arteta, being a very good manager, understood this scenario. So he decided that he might use his wingers to track Manchester United's wing backs. And now this further freed Manchester United centre backs, who will now carry the ball in field, looking to progress with the ball directly. And this might now draw the Arsenal's midfielder to actually stop them, allowing players such as Bruno Fernandes in particular to receive the ball and actually look to create threatening positions against Arsenal. Here we see Bruno Fernandes receiving the ball and looking to play the ball onto the runs of Mbeumo. And this is something that Manchester United did effectively. So impressed with Bruno throughout the game. Here again, the ball is played. Look at the position of Bruno, who receives the ball and is able to shift the ball onto Casemiro. And this all happens because Manchester United's centre backs are now free to progress with the ball. Manchester United's goalkeeper also realized that if the centre backs were being covered, he was the only free man. And you started to see players such as Mason Mount dropping deep from the attacking line to receive the ball, knowing very well that their position will be filled with the fullbacks. But one thing I liked the most about Manchester United is the runs that Mbeumo kept on making. Mbeumo kept on making these out to in runs that constantly gave a lot of problems to Calafiori. And when Fernandes received the ball, his main aim was always to look to play the ball over the top of Arsenal's defense line. And this actually gave Mbeumo some interesting situations for Manchester United. Another thing that we realized about this system is the way Arsenal looked to even go aggressively by having their wingers to cover the Manchester United's wingbacks. But this also became problematic in that the centre backs would play the balls towards the channel direct for the runs of Cunha, Mason Mount, and Mbeumo. And this created even more and more problems for Arsenal. Now we move on to the next scenario. And this next scenario is this. Looking at this situation here, what you notice is that the positions of both Manchester United players and Arsenal's players was so interesting. Arsenal players decided to sit deep, especially after scoring their first goal, in that they wanted to minimize as much space for Manchester United. And this now gave Manchester United the space because Ruben Amorim's system was constantly disorienting Arsenal. But Manchester United were quite different in that they looked to spread their centre backs so wide to make it difficult for Arsenal to press them. And most importantly, they looked to find their wing backs. Now, whenever they looked to play these balls to their wing backs, their main aim was to create those side overloads, allowing the wing backs to draw out Arsenal's fullbacks and actually have players making runs in the channels. Now, you can see this with, look at how spread out Arsenal's backline is. Arsenal's backline is usually quite narrow when they are defending. But of the position of Manchester United wing-backs is actually allowing spaces to actually open up in Arsenal's backline. And because of this, what you notice is that many players were being drawn to stop Manchester United from building from the back. And this actually allowed players like Mbeumo to continue drop in between the lines to receive the ball. Look at this scenario here. Look at how disoriented Arsenal's backline is, and look at the wide overloads that Manchester United is creating. Now, what you need to notice is that Manchester United will be very dangerous and very deadly, especially when they look to exploit the wide areas. People need to be very cautious on how they're going to deal with elite inside forwards such as Mbeumo and Cunha, who are playing for Manchester United, and how Manchester United might have actually solved their attacking issue. The scoreline of the game might not depict the true essence of the game, but in my opinion, going with the scoreline, it is a good 3 points for Arsenal, but going with the performance, I think there is a lot of positives that Amorim can take forward in the future. What do you think? Leave your comments in the comment section area below. Once again, thanks for watching.